Welcome. Who here has animals or has had any animals at any point in their life? Think back to when you got the animal. Did you purchase the animal at a pet store or did you adopt from your local shelter? Whether you have a cat, dog, or other small animal, you love it with all of your heart and provide it with a safe, loving, and caring home. Animals can be lifetime companions, and they are loved all around the world, and yet so many animals end up in shelters. My goal is to persuade you to not only donate to your local shelter, but to adopt an animal from your local shelter by providing you with information on the SPCA of Anne Arundel County. This information will include what they do, how they do it, and why it is important. In order to learn how to help these animals, we must first learn about the organization itself. The SPCA of Anne Arundel County is a nonprofit shelter that cares for and takes in dogs, cats, and other small animals. The SPCA estimates that in 2018, they took in 2,094 animals in total. 1,099 of them were cats, 817 were dogs, and the other 178 were small animals. If they took all these animals in 1 year, can you imagine how many animals they have taken in since they've opened their doors? The SPCA does not only provide care for the animals that are in their facility. They also help the community out as well. They provide the community with low-cost vaccine clinics each month, which is a lifesaver when you have an animal or if you want an animal but are worried about the cost of the vaccines. They also provide low-cost animal supplies from the surplus of donations that they get, which is also a lifesaver when your dogs like to chew off each other's collars like mine. The SPCA is also a no-kill shelter, which is extremely important. The SPCA being a no-kill shelter is a huge accomplishment because according to the ASPCA, 1.5 million animals are euthanized each year. The ASPCA also estimates that 44% of households have a dog and 35% of households have a cat. Now that we have learned what this organization is, we must now learn how they manage to run the shelter. They run the shelter with two main things. They have volunteers and they have donations. The volunteers are extremely important and valuable for the day-to-day aspects of the shelter. They feed the animals, they help care for the animals, and they're there all the time to make sure the animals are nice and safe. They also get donations from the community, which can be either monetary or supplies. These donations can be used for food, maintenance of the shelter, and life-saving surgeries for the animals that need it. Now that we have learned about how they run the shelter, we must also learn, we must finally explore why it is important for this shelter to be in the community. The Humane Society estimates that about 3 million animals are euthanized each year. 2.4 million of these animals were healthy and could have been adopted to a loving home. It's a very sad statistic. I'm a huge supporter of the SPCA of Anne Arundel County, as I have gotten many of my animals there, including these two. This is Maverick and this is Maisie. This is Reese, Hazel, and Angel. Every animal that we have adopted have become a huge part of our family. And this is why I am such a huge advocate for the SPCA of Anne Arundel County. The SPCA of Anne Arundel County is a fantastic organization that we must not only donate but adopt from their shelter as well. In conclusion, supporting this organization is crucial to all the animals in our county. Now that we have looked at my animals, I think to persuade you, we should also look at the other animals that they have for adoption. So they have many dogs up for adoption, many cats, and other small animals that includes bunnies and parakeets. Before we leave, I would like to leave you all with one final thought. Why would you spend hundreds or even thousands of dollars on an animal at a pet store or from a breeder when you can adopt a loving local shelter animal that is in need of a home?